So here they are in the desert, over 1,000,000 some people, and they are hungry. Their doubts become really big at this point, and their doubts are understandable. They grumbled against Moses and Aaron. They said, if only we had died by the Lord's hands in Egypt. There we sat around pots of meat and all the food that we wanted. But you've brought us out here into the desert to starve this entire assembly to death. Can you imagine the pressure Moses had? So what did God do? He provided manna for them in the desert. Now, what does manna mean? The word manna means, what is it? And nobody knows to this day what manna really was. It was white, it appeared on the ground, and it tasted like a wafer made with honey. And that is what sustained the Israelites all that time in the desert. And he provided water from a rock. Complete miracles. You can understand that they were having serious doubts about Moses and this leading them into the wilderness. They had doubts. And from their human perspective, you can understand it. Those doubts were understandable. They are starving. But it's different when it comes to faith. And you know that manna stayed on the ground and they were to collect it for 6 days, but on the last day they were not to collect it. That was supposed to last them on the Sabbath. And that manna disappeared the day that Moses died and they entered into the promised land. Never been seen again, to my knowledge. Let's talk about Gideon, who was a serious doubter. The backstory on Gideon was, in Gideon's day, the Lord was punishing the Israelites because they had wandered from God. They were doing evil in the sight of God, in his eyes. So he allowed the Midianites to steal, kill, and destroy everything that they had. They invaded the land for the sole purpose to ravage it. So every time they'd have crops, it would get destroyed by the Midianites. The sheep, the cattle, all of it would get stolen. They would ravage, and God allowed it. He was punishing them. So an angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon and said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Now I imagine when this angel appeared to Gideon, Gideon did not know he was speaking with an angel. And the Bible says, be careful how you treat people because you never know, you may be entertaining angels that you are not aware of. So when this angel shows up, which was probably in the form of a person, and says, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior," I don't imagine he's feeling too much like a mighty warrior at this point.